June 22nd, 1941. In stark contrast with Army Group North, Army Group Center is the strongest of all three, fielding over 1 million men and more than 2,500 armored fighting vehicles. By the end of the week, this unstoppable war machine has taken the Soviet Western Front completely by surprise, nearly surrounded all of its troops in the cauldron of Byalistok and Minsk, crossed the Dvina west of Vitebsk and captured Minsk. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the, second episode of the first turn in which we have a look at Army Group Center. So I think a couple of weeks ago I did a tutorial on how to, create or recreate the pocket of Byalistok Minsk. There are, however, a few tiny differences between the tutorial I made and this opening. Because in this opening, just to go straight to the point, I realized that it would have been much more convenient for me to move to shift the bulk of the 4th Army, the one in blue, yeah, directly to the east/northeast, in the direction of Baranovichi and Minsk, instead of just pushing completely into the pocket, because I realized that I could have smashed the central and western part of the pocket directly with the 9th Army. And so as an opening, again, I did use the regimented security divisions, but one. Because during my initial tests, I discovered that the units facing, the reserve, the 42nd Army Corps, they were particularly resilient, and I could not dislodge them with just one regiment of the security division, and so I combined, I think it was the 221st Infantry Division into a full division, and I used it to just open up the westernmost flank of the future cauldron. And then again, the goal of the opening stages of this turn in regard to our Army Group Center were to rout as many enemy units as possible. I didn't say this. I didn't say it, I think, in the episode of Army Group North, but the goal of routing the units is to make the cleansing and clearing of the pocket much easier on the second turn. Because when a unit is routed and is then isolated, it will automatically surrender when it's, met by any of your unit. And also, I did notice, I did try one new thing that, in my opinion, it's worth trying, and is that I did use the Grossdeutschland regiment to displace those rifle divisions which are in the forest west or southwest of Baranovichi. And this is because in all of my openings, when I was trying this maneuver, I noticed that those rifle divisions would march southwards in an attempt to flee from the pocket, and they would reconquer some of the hexes with the Brest-Minsk railway line. And this meant that in the second turn, even if I would regain control of those hexes, my FBD unit would have been delayed, because those were not fully controlled hexes, but they were hexes with pending control, and this would have forced me to spend more movement points of my FBD in repairing those hexes, compared to having already controlled those hexes within the first turn. And so as always, I did use here the temporarily motorized infantry division to gain control of Minsk, and also to prepare these zones of control in the eastern side of the pocket. And I also did some micromanagement to avoid routing the already routed units outside of the cauldron. And then also one comment about the movement of the panzers. I wanted to concentrate most of Guderian's 2nd Panzer Group in the area of Minsk to have it ready to march across the Dnieper, hopefully on the 2nd turn, while I decided to concentrate Hoth's 3rd Panzer Group around the area of Polotsk and between Polotsk and Vitebsk, because I noticed that if I, let's say, kind of followed the historical path, so that if I forced the 3rd Panzer Group to converge on Minsk, the AI would always, and I say always, establish a defensive line behind the Dnieper. I don't. So again, I want to be cautious. I've seen this in all of my tests, so I don't know if you guys could reproduce this, but the AI would always establish a defensive line behind the Dnieper and the Dvina, and this would make me extremely, would make the task of crossing both rivers extremely difficult on the 2nd turn. And so I said, fine, to kind of trick the AI into pulling back its defensive lines, I sent Hoth's 3rd Panzer Group across the Dvina river. And also you might see it at here, precisely here. I was so undecided between sending the FBD south or north, but then I was like, because this is like an unofficial campaign, I didn't want to risk something new. I never tried sending the FBD-3 southwards to aid the advance of Army Group South. And so I said, okay, fine, screw it. I will send the north. I will stick to my plans, to my rules, to what I know it's working, and yeah. So maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. I cannot say this at this point. But yeah, we will see maybe next week or in the coming weeks if this was maybe the right move or not. And I would say with this it's everything, folks. As always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you all in the next episode, in which we will have a look at the opening stages of Army Group South.